All right, everybody, how you doing? I'm so excited for you to be with me today. We are going to be talking about one of the top three most important subjects when it comes to real estate investing, and one that has made a ton of mistakes, and it's how to calculate rehab costs. You see, when it comes down to real estate investing, there's really three big fundamental mistakes I see people make. Number one is how they find properties. So locating and finding properties is the big mistake I see people make. Number two is I see them overvaluing properties. So knowing how to value the property and knowing what that property is really worth is the second biggest mistake. And the third biggest mistake, you probably guessed it already, which is calculating rehab costs. Not just the calculation, but the project management, how to calculate, how to know. I also find this one to be one of the most intimidating subjects. You know, how do I know what the rehab's really going to cost? If you have ever thought that or had questions about that, please put a comment in or give a thumbs up if you're watching that recorded video, because we're going to deep dive into this and give you hopefully a wealth of information that will help you in your real estate investing. Whether you're just getting started or whether you've been doing this for a while, either way, some of the principles that we're going to share with you are going to help you make it more efficient, make it faster, help you get closer on your rehab costs. That's what we're going to be jumping into today. So who's with me? If you're here today, please put your name in the comments. What you're going to learn is why rehab estimate is needed, why you need to do this in advance, how to make it accurate or as accurate as you possibly can, the idea of cost ranges and how cost ranges can be used, different levels of rehab and what those differences are and when you should use each one, and simple numbers to make it easier. Sorry, got a frog in my throat. So we're going to cover all that, also a couple of case studies, so we're going to get into it. And at the end of today, we're going to be giving away, if you stay to the end, we're going to give away our rehab estimate form. This is the form we use when we're estimating rehab cost. We'll give it to you completely for free at the end of this webinar, or at the end of this live cast, I should say, and you can get a copy of that. It's our rehab estimate form, and I'm going to show you how cool it is and what we do with it. So stay till the end, and we'll also be telling our weekly swag giveaway winner as well. Okay, this show's for entertainment purposes only. Before you make any financial moves, consult a real estate professional, attorney, a CPA, or other professional who is an expert on the subject matter. Everybody's situation's different, and there's not one size fits all approach guaranteed to work for all investors. DHM may receive payments for sponsorships, guests in the forms of books, giveaways, items, discounts, or other remunerations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. Welcome. Please state your name and the city where you are investing, the city and state where you're investing, please. We've got a few that are coming up. We need a bunch more. There's so many more of you listening live today. And if you're watching this as a recorded video, please join us live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join live. And the cool thing about it is you can ask questions along the way, and those questions will get answered as we are recording this, as we are doing this live. Let's give a couple of shout outs here. Kiev is here and in the house. Where are you at, Kiev? I'd love to know where you're investing or wanting to invest. KJO, I hope I'm saying that right. ALD, I'm not sure. Let me know where you're investing. Love to see that. And thanks for being with us. Israel from Ohio. Israel, thanks for being with us. Good to have you again. Alicia from Maryland. Alicia, thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. Kiev is in Maryland. Kijo is in Massachusetts. Kijo, are you a Boston Red Sox fan? I just need to ask. I've been to a couple of Red Sox games, and Fenway Park is amazing. So my kids went last year, was it? And so anyway, now they're like Red Sox fans for life. So anyway, let me know in the comments. Love to know. I don't keep up on the team, just for the record as well. Free swag. We do this every single week, or we have been. I don't know how long we'll continue to do it. It's been kind of fun, though. I think you... Oh, Kijo is not. No, you're not. Oh, no, Kijo's a Yankees fan, and he lives in in Massachusetts. I didn't think they let anyone live in Massachusetts that was a Yankees fan. I thought they automatically shipped you away. Just kidding, Kijo. Okay, so today's swag giveaway. These cool new shirts we just got, and it is I Flippin' Did It. I wore one last week on the live cast. Whoops, let me make sure I go the right way. I Flippin' Did It. It's really cool. We send these out. We're going to be sending these out as people do their first flip. So that's coming. But I'm giving one of these away, and this is a large. If you need another size, let us know. We can probably hook you up. Hopefully we'll have some. You just never know. And then we've got an insulated water bottle thing. We've got a gripper, arm strengthener, hand strengthener. We've got a cool Do Hard Money stress house. We've got a jump rope. We've got a what are these things called? Ice pack. Man, that logo, you can't see that logo that well on it. And then we also have our Financial Freedom Workbook, or I should say DVD. It's got a little worksheet. It's got a USB in here. We'll be sending. This is our Financial Freedom. This will all be coming your way. These are really cool. Tons of great information. So that's what we're going to be shipping out. The winner of this swag box has already been determined. It is in the slides, and we'll be announcing them at the end of today. So next week, what you're going for next week, let me show you. Next week's swag box, we've got another one of these great Do Hard Money backpacks. Super cool. We've got a Do Hard Money hat with that. We also have stuff is falling everywhere here. We also have in this, we've got arms or a band strengthener thing. We've got a water bottle in this one. We do also have a insulated what is it called? Thermos thing, insulation. We've got a arm deal. Okay, so we've got all of that fun stuff that's going to be coming. So whoever wins, which we're just starting this week, it starts today with the live cast. That's what you're going to have the chance to win. So the question is how are you going to win it, right? If you're interested in winning some swag, type it in the comments here and let me know. And that doesn't matter if you're listening to the recording video or if you are listening to this live. Either way, put it in the chat and let us know. Okay, so let's see. So I talked to one of your guys today and probably join you guys this week. Oh, Kijo, awesome. Excited to have you. That'll be fantastic. You love it. Who else wants to win some swag? I know Kijo does. Who else? Alicia wants to earn some swag, or win some swag, I should say. If you want to win some swag, this is what you do. You ask great questions. You leave positive comments, not just here on the live version, but also on the recorded video. That's a really big thing. The comments on the recorded videos is huge and high interaction. We're looking for people to engage, ask questions, be present, and with that, I'll choose one person. Okay, Alicia wants some swag. Kiva wants some swag. F-E-Z-Z, Fez, it sounds like you're from Utah because everything in Utah has two Z's, like the Jazz and the Buzz and all of our sports teams. Tony Robertson, he wants a swag bag. Fantastic. RPM support, I need my swag bag. I'm not sure. Let us know. We're excited that you are with us and want you to earn a swag bag or be the winner for the swag bag. What do we got? First time here, ran into your YouTube looking for HML, hard money lending. Fantastic. You're in the right place. Tell us your name, Fez, F-E-Z-Z. Excited to have you with us. Okay, thank you for your comments. Like, this means a lot to me when I see these comments, and I want to keep them coming, So I am says, I am looking to get my first real deal done. Israel said, I just came to Do Hard Money a week ago, and I'm ready to do my first deal. Love it. If you like these live casts and you want to see them continue, I really need your help. We're now at 4,391 subscribers, which is fantastic. My goal by the end of November is to be to 4,455 subscribers, so I'm 64 subscribers short of where we want to be, 64 subscribers short. So a couple of questions. So let's see, Carlos, Fez, let's see, that 70 show, long story. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe right now. Subscribe right now. I'd love to have you a subscriber. And anybody else, if you're not currently a subscriber, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and put, I just subscribed, that would be fantastic. And it might earn you some bonus points on getting the swag this week. Just saying. It's not going to be the determining factor, just to be for real. Okay, Alicia, she'd love to see more of these continue. This is awesome. Fez, Investor's Edge, how to get the software, pretty new, learning to flip. Goal is to get under contract before end of year. That's a great goal. On Investor's Edge, once you become a member, if you are a member, you get access to it. We have videos. We have all kinds of stuff on how to do that. And we also do a walkthrough with a Jumpstart call. So I think that'll help you quite a bit. If you have questions, we can get you to support. So I hope that helps. I'm going to show a few things off Investor's Edge today as well. Just a few things, but not a lot. RPM, still looking for the first deal. It's been rough. I agree. Here's the thing you've got to realize. You're going to have one of two problems. It's going to be hard to find properties and very easy to sell them, which is what we're dealing with right now. Or it's going to be easy to find properties, but very hard to sell them. So right now, the ticket is going after off-market properties, knowing if you haven't done the offer worksheets that we have, it tells you how many offers. It's called the Next Deal Blueprint. RPM, I can't remember your name, but RPM, if you'll do the Next Deal Blueprint, I don't know if you're a member or not, but if you are a member, if you jump in and do the Next Deal Blueprint, it'll break down to you how many offers you're actually going to need to be making and how much time it's going to take to put a week-by-week plan together for you. So I really recommend you do that if you haven't already. I think we've given away free in some of our other videos as well, the Next Deal Blueprint worksheets, or software actually. So, okay, Investor's Edge, how do you get the software? Oh, how do you get the software? By joining, we can get you the software. Still looking for my first deal. Oh, got you there. Let's see, already subscribed. Fez is already subscribed. Carlos, I just subscribed. Fantastic. Thanks for subscribing. Tony just subscribed. Tony, thanks for subscribing, man. I am here to help you. Every single day, I upload a new video on some type of topic. And the killer thing about these videos is they're like 5 minutes or less. So you can just go in and get a quick deep dive, like seller property disclosure, calculating rehab, what's a full rehab, buying a house with fire damage. So I'm trying to give great content. And as a matter of fact, if there's something you would like me to do, one of those short little 5 minute or less videos on, please put it in the comments here, and we'll put that in consideration to do. Let's see here. How much is the membership? Give us a call, Fez. We'll, or Carlos, I think it is. Give us a holler, and we'll talk about it. Depends on what you're wanting to do and those types of things. But first off, we need to even see if we're a good fit for each other. Make sure our goals are aligned. We're on the same page. It's something that we both is going to work for us. So give us a holler, and let's see if that's if we're in alignment there, and then if so, we can talk about going to the next steps. By understanding how much how much the rehab will cost, can accurately present the information to your cash buyer in an easy way to comprehend. Okay, by understanding how much the rehab will be will help you with your cash buyer, an easy way to comprehend. Yeah, knowing how much it's going to cost is a big deal. Israel, I'm with you. Ryan is my name. Oh, well, Ryan, that's an easy one to remember, because so is mine. Fans, I'm not sure which state to focus on. Currently living in Michigan, but prefer to focus on another market. I'll just tell you, Carlos, I mean, it's always a little bit harder if it's not where you live. It's not impossible, but it's always a little bit harder. As a matter of fact, we have a video from a guy that was in Israel that did his first deal in New Jersey, so it's definitely possible. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. Alicia Booth says, I'd like to hear more on private money lenders and how to get the best loan terms. That's a great subject matter we can talk about, and you can also just give us a holler and see if we can help you as well, because it may be easier. Okay, please give us a thumbs up as well to these videos. It makes a big difference to us. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button in addition to just subscribing. It's Do Hard Money YouTube channel, and a big thanks to those who are our newest subscribers today, both Carlos, Tony, and I think there was somebody else, but I can't remember. But thank you so much. And please, 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 when we get done with this live cast, it becomes a recorded video. That recorded video will be on YouTube. please give some comments and a thumbs up on that recorded video. It is a big help to me. And also, if you like these and want to see them continue, like Alicia does, like Carlos does, let's see who else have we got in here. Kijo does. Please tell somebody else about it. One of the best things you can do in making financial friends is talking about what you're interested in, what you're doing. Makes a big difference. Okay, real estate market update. Let's just talk about what's happening, and I'm interested. What's happening in your market? What are you seeing in Michigan? What are you seeing in where else have we got people here today from? What are you seeing in New Jersey? What are you seeing in Ohio? Israel, what are you seeing in Ohio? I'm interested to see what that is, what you got going in there. Kiva, what are you seeing in Maryland? Kijo, what's happening in Massachusetts other than you getting kicked out for being a Yankees fan? What is happening? Ryan, what are you seeing in your neck of the woods? I can't remember where you're at. Let's see here. What else we got here? Carlos, what's happening in your area? Alicia, what's happening in your neck of the woods? What are you guys seeing in real estate? I've had a few people say Michigan. Yeah, Carlos is in Michigan. What are you seeing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Alicia says, in Maryland, it's a seller's market and most investors are making out good. I totally agree. Kijo's in Massachusetts, interested in what you're seeing there as well. Here's basically on the national scale, homes sold in 53 days in October. That is 13 days faster than a year ago and faster than September. This is October. This is supposed to be starting the slower season when it comes to being a seller, and we're seeing the opposite. This time, for the first time, the pace of sales has sped up from September to October since 2011, signaling buyers continue to face tough competition. This is anything but a normal year. Kijo saying mass prices are higher and seems that I've been seeing buying a rehab looks too high to jump in. Yeah, the concern is, hey, am I getting in too high on the pricing? We're going to talk about that. Within the nation's 50 top largest metro areas, homes sold even faster, spending only 45 days on the market. Buffalo, New York was the only metro to have the home sell slower than last year with additional 7 days on the market. So it took 7 days longer. The metro areas were homes sold faster compared to last year. Hartford, Connecticut, it was 23 days faster this year than last year, which last year is still selling fast. Virginia Beach was 22 days faster. San Diego was 20 days faster in selling the property than it was in prior years. Homes are selling quickly. I bought here in Michigan. My house was in the market barely a week before I was the third bidder. Wow. And Carlos, was that for you to live in or was that an investment? I'd be curious to know. And I'm assuming that was an MLS property, which I don't recommend in finding properties, especially in today's market. A severe lack of homes for the continued despite improvement in new listings. New listings were down 7.7% compared to last year, but it's a substantial improvement over September when new listings were down 13.8%. Yahoo Finance says it's also been a boon for builders who are confident as they have ever been. The National Association of Home Builders reported this week as they rush to meet the demands of several undersupplied housing markets. Indeed, single-family housing starts are proceeding at the fastest clip in 13 years. The largest spike in used car and truck prices since 1969 when bell bottoms, flower power, and groove returns ruled the airways. The real story is real estate is just how strong the housing market has been. It is and continues to be, and this will continue. I mean, we're just seeing nothing more to say than wow. Carlos says, I'm living in, unfortunately, laugh out loud. Well, you got to have a place to live, that's for sure. The monthly jobs report shows that September unemployment continued to improve as sectors like leisure, hospitality, retail, and healthcare added back jobs altogether. Payrolls rose 661,000. Until I found out that I'm forever working from home going forward. Oh, I hope that's not the case. I don't like to work from home. The current state of the housing market isn't expected to change anytime soon. It's part due to the many buyers thinking that the market wouldn't be as seller-friendly as it is right now. Quicken Loan says the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is 0.6 points paid in fees. That'd be an origination fee. Is 2.81%, down 6 basis points on the week. This has fallen from 3.69% a year ago. Fed suggests the worst of the crisis is over in their morning briefing. Okay, what do we got here? Alicia, also in Maryland, prices are being overpriced. There are bids 10 to 15% higher than actual cost to beat the market. Houses are going to be highest bid. Yeah, there's no question. Kijo, do you think with COVID, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me, but what's going to be happening with prices or working from home? Because we're going to jump into this COVID update. But Kijo, give me a little more what you're asking there. I'm not following exactly. Let me grab a drink and let's jump into kind of some COVID update. All right, there's the little beast right there, COVID on the screen. Can you believe that thing is like, what, 1/100th of the size of sand, and it's like done so much to disrupt our lives. Unbelievable. COVID-19. What's happening in your area with COVID? Well, we want to talk about it. With COVID, prices will drop and could be a buyer's market. Yeah, I don't think so. Here's what's happening. There's just not enough on the market. The reason why prices are going up is there's not enough inventory and there's more buyers than there are sellers. So for prices to drop, you would have to have more sellers than buyers. And based upon the pent-up demand that we're dealing with right now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. So the issue is, Kijo, how can you find properties that are off-market, non-MLS properties? And one of the tools we use is called Investor's Edge. And so the only question mark in this with COVID is if we start seeing massive layoffs, that will have an impact on it, I believe. Is if we start seeing some massive layoffs and if we start seeing the economy start going the other way. But if we don't see massive layoffs, I don't think we're going to see home prices bottom out, at least through 2021. It's a prediction. I don't know. It's a guess. I look at a lot of this information, but I'm not on board with that. And I know there's a lot of people fear-mongering out there saying you're going to see the bottom drop. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't believe it personally. Nationally, for COVID, we're seeing some uptick. You're probably feeling it. You're knowing that we're going into the fall season or winter season. What's happening in your neck of the woods with COVID? What are you seeing? What's happening? What are you doing about it? Please put it in the comments. I'd be very interested. Israel and Ohio, there's 2,928 beds in use with 14,291. But you can see this is where we're at right now. This is what we see for beds usage, or the prediction is. So you're seeing a severe uptick for what you've seen so far. The prediction is it's going to get worse before it starts getting better. So I think that's something to look at. Chris in Texas, 28,000 beds with 5,000 in use. You can see they had a big uptick in July and August. They're back down. The prediction is it's going to get worse than it was back in July and August. Now, all of this, again, depends on what happens with masks and vaccinations and everything else. Kendall, friend, this is what we're looking at here. They had a big uptick in May. And we're seeing another uptick in December and January, a little bigger than what they saw in May. So something to keep in consideration. Israel, single-family homes in Ohio are up 6% sales price. Appreciation is up 0.08%. Home ownership rate is 64.6%. That is amazing. 6%. Nationwide, I think we're up about 12% year over year, if I remember right, nationwide in housing prices. Pretty amazing. Ryan, RPM saying, is Investor's Edge available for purchase? Ryan, give us a call. We can chat and see if we're a good fit for each other. Make sure we have the right goals and make sure you're serious about wanting to do things. Last thing we want to do is get you involved and have you not go and get to making some things happen. So give us a call. You could talk to Carlos or you can talk to Hunter. Those guys could help you out and see if we might be a fit. The AP reports Pfizer says COVID-19 vaccination is looking 90% effective, which is super exciting. The whole goal was to have that done by the end of the year. I sure hope so. China became the first country to grow its economy over COVID-19. I think that's really interesting. COVID cases in China started November 17th, and here we are November, so we're about a year out. When we look at the United States, cases started in around March, so if we follow the same pattern as China, we're somewhere around March, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better, but it's interesting to see that. Let's see here. With Investor's Edge, do you also look at comps similar to the home you want to flip? Oh, yeah. Carlos, if you haven't seen Investor's Edge, you need to check it out. You have full access to the MLS in most states, and you can pull all your comparables, your actives, your solds. You can do your values. I have a whole video on YouTube you should watch all about how to pull values, and we do I wouldn't say a deep dive, but we give an overview on Investor's Edge, how to pull values. So check it out. It's on YouTube. I can't remember what it is. Maybe John, if you want to post that could be helpful for everybody. ABC News says risk of COVID-19 exposure on planes is virtually non-existent when masks are when you wear a mask, the study shows. Could the live flu vaccination help you fight off COVID-19? And the answer is absolutely yes. The new CDC report says 94% of patients who died from COVID had other health issues. Immune reaction to some common colds might provide protection against COVID-19. Last immunity seen after mild COVID-19 infection is reported. Kids are less susceptible to catching and spreading the novel coronavirus. COVID-19 patients had a 5.2% risk of catching the virus. Those between ages of 20 and 50 had a 14.8%, and those over 60 have an 18.4% if they are living with someone that actually has COVID. So that's interesting. Thanks, John. Carlos, we got that on the screen so you can watch that on how to value properties using the Investor's Edge. Carlos has another question. Last question. I'm sure it's not going to be Carlos. I bet you're going to have more. We're just jumping into calculating rehabs, and keep the questions coming. Last question. Where am I scratching my head is how to find the contractors and knowing how much the rehab will cost. Sorry for the 21 questions. Well, let's make it 22, Carlos. But we are going to go through how to calculate rehab. We are not going to talk about how to find contractors, but we do have other trainings on how to find contractors. And as a matter of fact, in our with our membership, we actually have contractors lists. Now, that doesn't mean we've screened them or anything else. It just means they've done some bids, but that can help. And then you can do interviews. And we have some tools and resources on how to make sure they're the right contractor. Keep it coming, Carlos. I literally ran onto your page a little less than an hour ago, and I was in the process of watching how to find homes without the MLS. Fantastic, Carlos. Glad you're with us. Glad you're checking it out. I know it'll be a big help to you. Okay, guys, let's jump into this. Let me grab a drink here. Okay, I want to see the questions. Be like Carlos and ask a bunch of questions all around this topic or anything else you want help with, but we're going to jump into this deep dive into the topic. So, how to calculate rehab costs. What you're going to learn today is why rehab estimate, why it's even needed, why it's so important, how to make it accurate, the ideas of cost ranges and how you can apply those, different levels of rehab, the simple numbers that actually make it quite a bit easier to actually come up with a rehab cost. And then we're going to cover a few ideas and some case studies. Okay, so here's the deal. When I first got started in real estate investing as an investor, this was called the paper napkin estimate. So basically what would happen is I would find a contractor, I'd take him to the property, I'd say, how much do you think it's going to cost to do the rehab? And he would say, oh, it's going to cost $30,000. And I would say, okay, how confident? Oh yeah, I can get this done for $30,000. Okay, that sounds great. Do you want to give it to me in writing? And he'd literally get out a scratch piece of paper, or he'd get out a paper napkin and write $30,000, put his name on it, and hand it to me. Well, there's a problem with that, but that's how a lot of the contractors did it, and so it was a problem. And so he put it on a napkin, or he put it on a scratch piece of paper, and I'm being facetious about the napkin, but the reality is I didn't get much more than that. And the problem was, when we got into the project, they would say, well, that's not included in the bid. But unfortunately, since the bid just said $30,000 to do the whole house, it was subject to interpretation. Well, was that included or wasn't that included? Well, I obviously thought it was included, and the contractor would say, well, that definitely wasn't included, and we would have a problem. We would have a conflict, which isn't good. And then you maybe say, well, that's going to cost extra. You're going to have to pay more money to have that done. Oh, you actually want to tile with your grout? Oh, you actually wanted me to do hardwood floors and not just prep them? Oh, you wanted me to paint? I thought you only wanted me to do primer. These are the types of things. And in the moment you think, are you kidding me? This really came up? It comes up all the time, and it's all because of this process. I'll give you another example. Oh, you want a toilet paper holder in your bathroom? Oh, you want a mirror in your bathroom? Well, we didn't plan on those. That's going to be extra. That's going to be extra. And literally, if you're planning on your profit margin based upon the bid you're getting, your profit's only as good as the quality of the bid that you get. And that can become very problematic, especially if you get nickeled and dimed with the extras. Another thing to consider here is if you are working with a lender, a hard money lender like ourselves, a private money lender, that lender is going to say, here's how much money you have for rehab, and they're not going to give you more money. They're going to write the loan for that amount. And you don't get to keep coming to Papa saying, I need some more money. Put a little more in my allowance money, Dad. It doesn't work like that. If the bid was $50,000, you got $50,000 to do the rehab. Now, if you want to put more money into that, you're welcome to $60,000. Whatever the case is, to have some slush fund money, you're welcome to do that. And we can help you with that. But the problem becomes this is extra, or the contractor says, we didn't talk about that. Okay? So, what did I do? Well, I'm a quick learner. So what I started to do is I would go to the property, and I would have a tape recorder. And eventually I got one of those pens that records as you write, which was super cool. And the contractor knew I was taking notes on this thing. So then I would say, great, contractor, let's just start on the outside of this property. And I would literally go through and I would write down everything. And instead of him saying, this is going to be $30,000 to do this project, I would say, we're going to go item by item. Okay, Mr. Contractor, what's it going to cost you to put new trees in here? Great, it's going to cost you this. What's it going to cost us to sod? Okay, what's it going to cost to do sprinklers in the front yard? What's it going to cost to do this? So I would go item by item by item by item, and I would literally write everything down. At first I was trying to write it, and that didn't work. And then I got a tape recorder, and that worked for a while, but then I had to go back and listen to it. And then I started getting that pen, and I started writing everything down. So I only had to go back and listen to the things I needed to go back and listen to. Okay, that's how detailed I started getting on these bids. How much is it going to be for this? How much is it going to be for that? I would then type it up, and I would then send them the bid. So I didn't have the contractor do the bid. I basically was creating the bid. And I did that based upon the prices when I went to the property with the general contractor, and they gave me the prices. Well, here's the cool thing. I made sure it was all in writing. It includes the tile. It includes the hardwood floors. It's 2 coats of paint plus it's a primer plus 2 coats of paint. I wrote all these things down, and originally I was not that detailed, but then I got more and more and more detailed. Because I'm telling you, everybody's friends and everybody loves each other when you're getting a job started. But once you get into the job, it's all about pointing fingers about that's not included, this is included. This eliminated all of that. And it also eliminated another problem. You see, contractors hate doing paperwork. They just do. They hate doing paperwork. That's the most boring part of their job. They want to swing a hammer. They want to paint. They want to boss some people around. Whatever the case is, but they'll do anything. I mean, they would rather fight with their wife than do paperwork. And so what you want to be doing is documenting each one of those things. So the more detail there is, the better that there is. So this is a copy of my bid estimate that I actually use. And I brought it on the screen here. I'm going to kind of zoom in for you. So this is our bid estimate. So this is what I now fill out, right? So property address, square footage, the property type. This will be all the contractor's information. Now you'll notice a couple of really cool things. And this is what I'm giving away. You can get a copy of this as well. How many days will it take to finish? What type of quality are we doing with? What does the property need to look like? I put samples in here as to what the property needs to look like because I choose 3 comparables using Investor's Edge. This is what my house needs to look like. I put it in here for examples so my general contractors where this is the quality of workmanship I'm looking for. Then I can come in here item by item, rough landscaping. I can type in what's required, low cost, final landscaping, steps for the porch, handrails. Each line item, gutters and downspouts, every single line item I can come in and put a low cost, a high cost, put a final cost in here, rough plumbing. There is a line item for everything. Bathroom 1, bathroom 2, drywall, finished carpentry, countertops, paint, flooring, appliances, and you know what else? There's permits. And if there's other, you can add a few others, additional comments and permits that are needed. This is the type of detail that you want to have when it comes down to working with a contractor. So you've looked at everything. The other really cool thing about this form is I like to use this form when I go and look at a property. So if I'm going to look at a property, I take this form and I can circle over here. This needs to get done. 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 So I can put some pricing or some sample pricing as we deal with this. This is immensely helpful, especially if you're just getting started or if you are an experienced rehabber. This is really what it comes down to. This is part of the project management that's necessary, and this is the bid form that we use. So I meet the contractor. I fill it out with them. Now, one of the cool things all of our members get is our project managers will help you do this. Our project managers are going to do a virtual walkthrough of the property over the camera, the video camera with you, and they'll do that with the contractor, and they're going to do a pricing meeting with the general contractor, really to help you, especially if you're just getting started. So why do we use repair estimates? Because the bottom line is before you go into this project, you need to know how much this is going to cost you. If you get this wrong, you're probably going to lose money. This will make or break the rehab. This will make or break your profit. When it really comes down to it, it is so important that you get it right. But the question is will bids be 100% accurate? And the answer is never. It might be a little lower. It's usually a little higher, depending upon how it happens. There's different labor costs. There's hidden repairs. There's different contractors. And I'm going to show you some simple ways to do this. And this is going to get you close, but it's not going to be 100%. It's just going to get you close. And it's going to get you close enough in some situations. And we're going to go through this. You also have unknown items. You know, what if the main water breaks or the sewer breaks or something crazy? I had a sewer problem in one of my properties. They had to dig it up and it was crazy. It was thousands of dollars. I wasn't expecting that, but you got to be ready for that. Our goal is to get close. If we can get really close to what the rehab's going to be, that's really what our goal is. And so let's talk about the process. First off, you look at pictures and you can use the price per square foot to get an estimate as to how much the rehab's going to be. Okay, that's going to give you enough to make an offer. So you can look at the pictures, use the price per square foot, which I'm going to cover here in a minute, and then you can make an offer. Okay, then once you get the property under contract, then you meet with the contractor and you use the bid and you formalize it using the bid sheet that we just talked about. For our members, our project managers will do a virtual tour with you and your contractor have a pricing meeting so we can try and dial that in. And then you get a signed agreement with the contractor. We have two agreements. We have the price breakdown and we also have the contractor agreement, the services agreement, to make sure they know deadlines and everything else like that. We're going to talk about some prices, and this is down and dirty pricing just so you can make some offers. But what I find is this helps a lot of people just make offers rather than having to wait to find contractors, to wait to go and do things. Like literally with this, you could go make 20 offers today on properties, and this is basically how it works. You use the price per square foot. What we're saying is not the price. So most people say, well, price per square foot for, tile is, I don't know, whatever it is, $10 or something like that. Well, what we're doing is we're saying use the square footage of the property. So if you're putting tile just in the bathroom, most people would say, well, measure the bathroom and then times that by whatever the cost, say it's $10, is for the tile. That's not what we're going to teach you to do. What I'm going to teach you to do is if the property is 1,000 square feet, the entire property times that by the dollar amount and use that. It's so much simpler because you don't have to go measure every single room. And some are going to be too high and some are going to be too low. But in the end, you're going to get to this quick and dirty ballpark so you can make more offers. Okay. So we're going to be going over this price per square foot. It's not the square foot. It's the total square footage of the house. Meaning if it's $3 per square foot, this is not what you're paying. This whole house. So it's 1,000 square feet to be $3,000. Okay. So I want to make sure we're on the same page with that. What gets fixed most of the time? Let's talk about the things that usually get fixed. Interior paint, you should be doing this almost every single time. Flooring is typically something you're doing every time. Kitchen is typically something you're doing every time. The question is what quality and grade, which we're going to talk about. Bathrooms are typically something you're going to be redoing. A light package, meaning the lighting, making it look good. Door package, demolition, those are things you're going to be doing. Putting putting a trim package to make it look good, landscaping, medium rehab interior, we'll talk about that. But these items are things you typically are going to be doing on every project that you do. These are the things that you can get the biggest bang for the buck. They're the cheapest repairs. They increase the value the most. The property sells faster. For example, new flooring and new paint really makes a property look amazing. And it's very relatively inexpensive for the value that you get. It appraises better. You get a higher value appraisal when this comes in. So let's talk about some different qualities of rehabs. First off, you've got your rental rehab, right? So this is very light. And then you've got your light rehab, your medium rehab, and your heavy rehab. So rental rehab is what's the minimum I can do in order to have this property rent. A light rehab is basically saying, hey, we're going to do more than a rental repair, but we're not going to go crazy. A medium or a builder's grade rehab, and then we get to a heavy rehab where it's like we're going to redo everything. Okay. Rental rehab. Let's talk about this. Paint is typically $2 to $3 a square foot, not just for the area you're painting. You don't got to go measure the whole wall. What's rise over run times this times that. No, if it's 1,000 square feet, you're going to spend $2,000 to $3,000 to paint the property as a rough estimate. Get you close enough to make an offer. Okay, carpet. If it's 1,000 square feet, you're going to spend $2,000 to $3,000 to put carpet in. If the cleanup, you're going to spend $1,000 to $2,000 to do cleanup. Miscellaneous landscaping, $1 to $6 a square foot. The total $6 to $14, with an average being $10. This is in a rental repair situation. Okay, rental repair situation. In a light rehab, $2 to $3 for paint, $2 to $3 for carpet. Light fixtures, $1 to $2. Demo, $1 to $2. Landscaping, $10 to $18. You'll see some of these are the same, but basically you could say an average. So basically, if you had a property that was 1,000 square feet, you would plan on at $14 a square foot. You would plan on spending that on a price per square foot for the entire project. Same thing with the medium. Okay, the medium, your light rehab, you're basically saying you're going to be $10 to $18. The door package is $2 to $3 a square foot. The new kitchen is $3 to $4 a square foot. The new bathroom is $3 to $5 a square foot. So for example, let's say that kitchen is $4 a square foot, and we times that by 1,000 square feet means that kitchen's going to cost you $4,000. If you're doing a medium rehab and it's $26 on average, it's going to cost you $26,000 on average to do a medium rehab. Same thing with heavy. If it's 1,000 square foot, you're going to spend $37,000 on a heavy rehab. HVAC systems, electrical changes, plumbing changes, water, medium rehab. So you're basically what we've done is we've taken our medium rehab and we've added on some additional rehab of the HVAC, the electrical plumbing. If you can see that, the medium rehab is rolling over into our heavy rehab, which puts us an average about $37. Price per square foot. So basically, $6 to $14 if it's a rental, $10 to $18 if it's a light, $19 to $33 if it's a medium, and $26 to $48 if it's a heavy. And so you can, with this, you can be like, okay, we're going to do a medium rehab. Now, how do you decide what type of rehab you're actually going to do? Well, that depends on your comparables. Once you've looked at those comparables, like we give the contractor, these are the comparables. This is what I want the house to look like. Great. Is that light, medium, heavy? Is that a rental repair? Great. Now I know that. Now, is it 10 or is it 18? Well, you could just use an average of 14 and go make an offer on the property and times that out. If it's a light rehab and you're going to use $14, it's 1,000 square feet, you're planning on spending $14,000. Keep in mind, you're not going to do much for that. Most of the rehabs we're seeing are more in the medium and heavy range. It depends upon where the property is located. Okay, so light rehab, 1,000 square feet, $14 average, $14,000. Medium rehab, 1,000 square feet, $26 average, $26,000. Heavy rehab, 1,000 square feet, $37 is $37,000. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the problems with this method. When the house is too small, 850 square feet or less, the budget will tend to be too small. Here's the reason. There's some economies of scale on some of this. And so when you have to pay someone to go do something, if it's not big enough, you're paying too much for that project to actually be done. So keep that in consideration. The other thing to keep in mind is when the house is too big, like 2,400 square feet and larger, it can throw you off a little bit as well. So you've just got to be prepared because the budget will tend to be too big. So if it's too small, you're going to come in not high enough. And if it's too big, you're going to come in too high. But it's close enough that we can start making some offers. Okay. So you might want to do this in Investor's Edge. So one of the things that we actually have in our Investor's Edge, okay, I almost got logged out there. So let's just go to, I'm just going to grab a random property in Chicago. One of the cool things in Investor's Edge that we actually have is we have this rehab calculator. So we have an agreement with a company that actually does pricing. So let's just create, this is like 1, 2, 3 tests. And basically what it does is it gives you current pricing on what's happening in the area. And so what they're doing is they're getting contractor pricing. They are also getting pricing on materials. And so you can come in here and you can estimate your project. I'm just going to call it new project. So this is the property address here on Levitt. I just put the new project. And this is really cool because you can search by property, by popular projects. So let's say there's a bathroom, and let's say that you want to do a tub and shower enclosure, and this, do you want to do a hinge door? Do you want to do a sliding door? What do you want to do? Next, do you want to do economy, good, better, best, designer? I just want economy on this. Okay, great. And I'm going to do that in a bathroom. I'm going to add it to the estimate. So this is going to tell me it's $364. It's DIY, do it yourself is $133. Here's the project details with the material, and here's the project report of exactly what I should plan to spend. I can print this estimate off, and I can keep adding to it. I can come and say, I want to add a deck, and I can say, okay, I'm going to add the deck, and this is the size. I'm going to do a 16 by 20 deck, okay, and I'm going to do that in the exterior grounds. Okay, add that to the estimate. So now my estimate went up $17,000 to get that deck done. And this gives me a full breakdown of what it's going to cost me to do that. This can help me get a little bit closer on those bids if you are searching and wanting something that's even more detailed. And that obviously you access through our Investor's Edge and go through our partner, which is Blue Hammer. Basically, what Blue Hammer is doing is they are getting pricing and they're selling that pricing information to insurance companies to tell them what 2x4s are currently costing. So they're getting job cost pricing on all of this. And then they're also getting labor pricing, and they're able to give you all of that pricing. So that's another thing to keep in mind that can be helpful as you're trying to make determination on the cost of what you're going to be wanting to do. Okay, guys, I've got a bunch of comments I want to get up to here because I think I missed a few of those. So literally ran. Okay, got it. Alicia, document. I'm with you 100%. So you itemize everything. Now there's a big difference between getting the wholesale to retail pricing. Okay, yeah. So here's the deal. So once you actually get you're going to use the price per square foot, or you're going to use the Investor's Edge to make the determination of to what the price will be. And then you get that property under contract. And then when you get it under contract, that's when you take your contractor out there. That's when you get really, really good pricing from them. And then you make sure that they follow through, do the project management, those types of things. So the difference between wholesale and retail that Carlos is kind of talking about, what I find the difficult thing with contractors is you tend to get what you pay for. So you want to make sure you're using industry standard pricing and you're building that into your budget. If you're planning on just getting a cheap guy and you end up getting cheap construction, we've had jobs where they did a poor job and we had to rip it out and redo it, and that's so expensive because you pay for the job twice. So just be careful about that. Carlos has the questions coming, keep them coming. Israel, which cost is better, dollar per square foot to rehab, or dollar per item to rehab for the contractor? Well, when I go to the contractor, Israel, to answer that question, I want line item by line item. So final landscaping, rough landscaping. So you can see property site, I have broken down what most people would say this is this is landscaping. I have broken it down to item by item. And with that should include materials and should include labor. This should be an all-inclusive price, not just the materials price. So based upon that, I actually don't want a price per square foot from the contractor. I want a price for the item from the contractor that he'll hold himself to. He should have been to the property. He can do his own measurements, and he can give me an item by item price. But I use the price per square footage method to give me a gauge if I should make an offer on a property, if it pencils or not. And then I bring the contractor in. So Israel, let me know if that's making sense. We're on the same page. If not, post some comments here. In regards to the quality, if a person is new, would it be typically for the quality to be low or mid-grade and you grow as an investor as you get higher? Yeah, I think so, Alicia. I mean, you could do a bigger rehab, but what I would say is if you're new, I would try and keep your rehab under $30,000. Just basic carpet paint would be my recommendation on that. As you're kind of getting started, start in that lighter medium rehab. I think that's going to be easier because you got to think of these bigger rehabs. You are managing these general contractors. They got to be on time. They got to be on budget. They've always got excuses. They like to go hunting. It sounds like I'm dogging on contractors. I'm not. Contractors are fantastic. We love contractors. There's just like anything in life. There's great contractors and there's horrible contractors. And so you got to know what you're getting and you got to know what gets them going. But I would recommend being in that lighter medium grade rehab. Keep it under $50,000 for sure. Probably better if you're in the $30,000 range, but that's not set. However, for those of you who are members, we actually have a project manager that will help assist you. So that project manager is going to do a virtual walkthrough on the property before you buy it with you and your contractor. He's also going to have a pricing meeting with your contractor to go after pricing, and then we're going to be putting those forms together, those contracts together for you, like the one our contractor estimate will actually do all of this for you. And we do that with our members as one of the services that we offer, depending upon which package you have with us. So hope that's helpful. Do you add bathrooms? The only time, Carlos, I'm only going to add bathrooms if it's like in a basement or it's unfinished. I'm typically not going to add a bathroom unless it really makes sense. But yes, you could add a bathroom. However, we don't change the footprint. So if you can add a bathroom without changing the footprint, go for it. If you're trying to add the footprint, that becomes a problem because basically you've got to put new footings in, you've got to redo the structure, and there's a bunch of stuff that comes with that. So I hope that helps. If not, hit me up in the comments. This is recorded. Yes, absolutely. This is recorded. Carlos, if you're enjoying this, one, you're going to love our membership. But number two, please, when you watch this and it's recorded, it'll post on YouTube. Please give it a thumbs up and love to have you leave a comment there as well. Thank you. Wow, this is great. I'm glad this is helpful. Israel saying this is great. Wonderful. Let's see. So calculate the rehab per foot to determine your ARV. No. Carlos, no, that's not how you determine the ARV. I actually have a video on how to calculate ARVs. You're going to want to watch that. We do not use price per square foot to calculate the after repair value. I'm going to use the price per square feet to do an estimate of the repair costs. I'm going to finalize that with an actual contractor's bid. And as far as the after repaired value, I'm going to get that through doing a comparative search, not as a price per square foot search. So you're going to want to check that video out, Carlos, as well. Alicia says, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you got value. Alicia, I'd love to know what you enjoyed the most today. What was the most helpful for you? But we're not done yet, guys. We got a few fun things still left to do. If you are not currently a member of our Find, Fund, Flip system, I highly recommend it. Dozens of hours of training, deal finding software, access to 100% financing. Just go to dohardmoney.com/get started. We'll post that in the comments here as well. dohardmoney.com/get started. You will love it. Okay, I promise this as well. We'll put a link in the rehab estimate form. dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form. Again, dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form. If you want to get a copy of that form that I was just showing you here, you'll get a free copy of this. All you got to do is go over to dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form. John, if we can get that in the in there as link in there, as well as the dohardmoney.com get started. Let's get that link in the comments as well for everybody. Okay, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, leave a comment. put on the bell notification, and tell somebody else about it. Check out, get that Rehab estimate form, dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form. Check that out. Let's see here. Carlos says, I'd hate to say I just spent $8K on Flipping Home Mentorship Program and I've gathered more out of this video. I just want to make sure I understand this, Carlos. You're saying you spent $8,000 on a mentorship program and you got more out of this video than you did the whole $8,000 that you got from the other product. Man, that sucks. I'm really sorry that that money went and was wasted and you got more from this free video than you got through that. But I'm also going to take that as a serious compliment because this is something we do to help people. And I'm glad. Like, that means a lot to me, Carlos. Thank you. All of it so far is thumbs up. Alicia, I just need you to give me a thumbs up on the recorded video. Is a major help to me. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, it looks like John got us posted. That first link on here, dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form, will get you a free copy of that form we talked about. Keyjo says, thank you. I can't wait to join. Awesome. Loving it, Keyjo. Excited to work with you. And this other one is, we're going to get you a link to the Get Started as well. Okay, what do you want to see for future videos, future live cast? What do you want to see? Please type it in the comments. Here's some ideas of some things you could be looking for. And so please put those into the comments. Business partner deep dives, coronavirus investing, choosing good contractor. What is helpful for you? And Carlos, don't feel stupid, man. Every journey, as long as it puts you in the right direction, it will help you get there. And we're excited to help you as well. Okay, if you enjoyed this, and I know Carlos has, what you heard today, please share the live link on YouTube with your friends or several friends. But also, you can check out my podcast. My podcast is called Income Hacker. You can get it on anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you don't currently listen to podcasts, you can do that from your iPhone. You can do it from Stitcher or Spotify. You can do it from your Amazon home. Just say, play Income Hacker podcast. So check that out. It could be very helpful for you as you're gaining and getting information. Okay, our winner is, let's talk about our winner. Our winner for this week is I'm saying it wrong. Hershawn Rice. Hershawn, are you with us, man? If so, you are our winner for the swag box. We're going to be sending this all out to you. You're going to be getting the shirt. You're going to be getting this whole bag of free swag. Here's what I need you to do, Hershawn. Email support@dohardmoney.com. Put in the comments, you are the swag winner. Put your screen name, your mailing address, your cell phone number. We will get your swag, free swag, sent out to you. We'll be sending this whole box. It's all ready to go. Ship it right in the mail, and this USPS is going to be coming right from us to you. Thanks for being with us. And everybody, please congratulate Hershawn being our winner, our swag winner of the week. All of those that participated, find out if you won the swag for next week. Join us next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will announce this week's winner. If you want to be that winner, please give thumbs up on the comments. Subscribe, leave some reviews, make sure you're participating. And again, please, we've got it here, Rehab Estimate Form, dohardmoney.com/rehab-estimate-form. Go ahead and check that out and get a free copy of that today. All right, Alicia says, will do. Thank you, Alicia. Kendall says, making offers. I appreciate it. Alicia says, congratulations. Congratulations are in order. K-Joy says, congratulations. Alicia's got the thumbs up. Hey, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. Carlos, I'm glad you got so much out of this. I'm glad you got more than $8,000 worth of value out of this free video that we've put together on this live cast. I appreciate you being with us. Please be here next week. I appreciate all of you, your comments, your support. Please give it a thumbs up, do the subscribe, share this with somebody, and we will talk to you next week. Everybody, have a good evening, and we'll talk to you next week. Make it a very profitable day.